It was a story that seemed to have everything: money, power, a picture-perfect family living under the warm Florida sun. But behind the gates of their exclusive community, a dark current was flowing. A secret, you might say. One that was locked away in the past, waiting for the right moment to surface. And when it did, it would shatter everything. This is a story about a family, a mother, a single handgun, a gun that would find itself at the center of not one terrible tragedy, but two terrible tragedies, separated by 2 decades. A gun that would force everyone to ask the same terrifying question. Was this all a tragic coincidence, or was something far more sinister at play? Before the headlines, before the trials, there was Linda, a woman who moved with grace and style through the elite circles of Palm Beach. She was known for her beauty, her charm, her marriage to a wealthy lawyer, James Cooney. From the outside, their life was a fairy tale. They had money, status, Kevin, Christopher. Linda was a prominent figure in the local charity scene, her name appearing in the society pages. She was living the dream, or so it seemed. But dreams can be nightmares in disguise. Behind the shimmer, cracks began to form. The family dynamic was complicated. It happened on a cold night, in February 1992. The argument between Linda and James had reached its breaking point. The divorce was looming, the tension unbearable. According to Linda, James had become enraged. She said he attacked her, that she feared for her life. In the chaos, she reached for the family's handgun, that powerful .357 Magnum. She would later tell police she was only trying to protect herself. To stop him, a single shot rang out. James Cooney, a wealthy lawyer, a father of 2, lay dying. Police found a scene of domestic tragedy, a wife, distraught and claiming self-defense. Linda's story was compelling. She painted herself as a victim who finally fought back. Prosecutors argued murder for money. The defense argued survival. The jury believed her. Linda Cooney was acquitted. The gun was returned to her. The family left, hoping to escape the shadows of that night. Nearly 20 years passed. The world changed, but some things remained the same. Linda, her sons, now young men, in a quiet suburb of Las Vegas, a new life, a new home, and somewhere inside, the same gun, that .357 Magnum, a relic of the past. On a summer day in June 2011, the past roared back, a 911 call. A young man's voice, panicked. "My brother, he's been shot." The address, the Cooney residence. The scene felt eerily familiar. A family member bleeding on the floor. This time it was Kevin, shot in the neck, paralyzed. And who was there? Christopher, and his mother Linda. Questions started immediately. The weapon, the same gun. The case against Christopher Cooney seemed at first straightforward. He admitted they'd argued. The gun was there, a shot was fired. Kevin was critically injured. Prosecutors painted a picture of jealousy and resentment, a younger brother overshadowed by his mother's devotion to Kevin. Christopher was charged with attempted murder. The key witness, the one who held all the cards, was their mother, Linda Cooney. The community was divided. Some saw a twisted family dynamic, years of manipulation and control. Then came the recordings, phone calls Kevin made in the months before the shooting. He sounded terrified, not of Christopher, but of his mother. He spoke of her control, of not being allowed to leave. He even said she was poisoning him. "She's going to kill me." The courtroom fell silent. The focus shifted. Was Christopher protecting his brother, or taking the fall for someone else? The relationship between Linda and her sons was always intense. After her husband's death, they became her world, and she, theirs. As the boys grew, the bond, especially with Kevin, tightened. Friends later testified. She monitored his calls. She discouraged his relationships. She kept him isolated and dependent. Kevin, a talented, handsome, popular young man, dreamed of moving out, to live his own life with his girlfriend. Every attempt met resistance. In court, his calls revealed a young man in distress, a grown man treated like a child, a possession. Prosecutors suggested a motive, not for Christopher, but for Linda. If he left, she'd lose control, lose her son. Was Christopher a villain, or a pawn in a dangerous game? The world waited for an answer. All eyes were on Linda. The trial was already a sensation, but the biggest bombshell was yet to come. It came from the victim himself, Kevin Cooney. Paralyzed and unable to speak, he communicated by blinking. A videotaped deposition played for the jury. This should have sealed Christopher's fate. Kevin answered, no. The courtroom gasped. Yes. Kevin accused his mother, Linda Cooney. The case flipped. The defense found its weapon. They argued Christopher confessed to protect her. Prosecutors said Kevin was confused, brain damaged. But the damage was done. Who was telling the truth? Who is the real monster in the Cooney family? The jury deliberated on a puzzle that seemed impossible. Christopher's confession weighed against Kevin's accusation, and a haunting history with the same gun. In the end, the case was built on doubt, reasonable doubt, not guilty, on all counts. To them, it was justice. To many, anything but. Linda was never charged. The case was effectively closed. Kevin was left paralyzed. The 357, a silent member of the family. A verdict without answers. No closure at all. The Cooneys disappeared from public view. So, where does that leave us? Standing in the shadow of a story with no satisfying conclusion. Two tragedies, one family, one gun, and Linda in the middle. Was it a brotherly dispute gone wrong, or the final act of a controlling mother? Sometimes, a verdict is just a verdict, not a final answer. What do you think? Was Linda a victim, or something far more sinister? Subscribe, like, and comment on what video you would like to see next.